Did you guys know that Toyotaro actually drew what happened in the Frieza Force between the time of Vegeta's defeat on planet Earth and Goku and Vegeta and the rest of the Z Fighters arriving on Namek? This is 100% totally canon, and it was in the Dragon Ball Super manga. So if you know what I am talking about, let me know what it is in the comment section below, guys. I want to hear from you if you have read the manga as much as I have at this point and have figured out all the extra bits and pieces. Let me know what I'm actually talking about in the comment section below. Stick around to the very end and see if you got it right. I want to give a huge shout out to the Black Squad. You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you so much for being here every single video, guys. It's been a tough month in my own personal life, but honestly, coming on here and making these videos for you guys and just delving deeper into the Dragon Ball Super mythos, it honestly lifts a very heavy weight off my shoulders from real life stuff. So thank you guys so much for being here. You guys don't understand the difference you guys are making in my own life just by being here. Let's go ahead and jump in. So you guys remember this guy right here? His name is Cranberry. He was in a lot of the background of Dragon Ball Z's manga, the anime, some of the games. Like, this guy is just one of those added on Frieza Force soldiers that has just kind of like a very simple name. There wasn't much of a backstory to him whatsoever until we get the Moro arc and we see that he has teamed up with Moro to get him his wish. And we don't really know why he's there. Like, we don't get much insight into where he comes from, how he survived the end of the Frieza Force under Frieza, because he was there for the majority of it, and all the people that have names in the Frieza Force, they all basically perished once Golden Frieza was defeated. So we don't really get much on this guy whatsoever until now. Toyotaro actually drew a manga showing us what Cranberry was going through in between the time of Vegeta's defeat and Namek, and it has a lot of details on what was going on in the Frieza Force as well during this time, and gives us an insight into exactly what the operation on Namek was supposed to be like for Frieza. Far across the universe on planet Frieza number 79, preparations for a certain plan had begun, and we already know from my previous videos that Frieza Planet 79 is essentially Frieza's home base. It is essentially his de facto home world, base of operations that he moves around his empire, essentially, when he's not on his ship. Age 762, just as Goku's battle with the invader Vegeta ended, this is what was going on Frieza Planet number 79. Hey you, don't speak out of turn. We don't need soldiers who won't follow orders. I can kill you right now. Dragon Balls? Those really exist? This is a top secret mission using only the minimum number of personnel, so do your best. We will now go with Lord Frieza to planet Namek to gather the Dragon Balls. So from these couple panels alone, we get a lot of information on the Frieza Force. Number one, it is obvious that Dodoria and Zarbon are like his top lieutenants, so it makes sense that they would be not only the ones helming a mission like this, but also giving briefing to the rest of the Frieza Force and letting them know exactly what's going on. Second of all, we get that Zarbon is a no-nonsense type of lieutenant, and he actively warns these guys that if they don't buck up, if they don't know what time it is, then he will basically unalive them, because yeah, he is that powerful and he does not care. It's the Frieza Force. But here is where it gets really interesting, and that is that the invasion of planet Namek with the Dragon Balls is a top secret mission, and they are using the minimum number of personnel they can for this job. Meaning that even though like planet Namek is sparsely populated, they were able to gain control over the whole planet just with their minimum number of personnel, meaning like their army, the Frieza Force army, is probably huge, like at least 20 times bigger than what we saw on planet Namek, if not more, and only a few top secret agents, I guess, were picked to be able to go on this top secret mission to get Frieza the Dragon Balls. And the last important thing is here that it seems like even like the common soldier knows about the Dragon Balls or the legend of them, because Cranberry kind of already heard about these things and he kind of already knew, like, hey, those are the Dragon Balls. I can't believe they exist. So he was a little surprised on that. So this is where Cranberry becomes important, because he was one of those very important soldiers that was privy to the top secret mission of going to Namek and getting Dragon Balls. He was on this mission. However, it didn't go well for him, because ultimately, immediately on invasion, he was beaten by the young warriors of Elder Mori's village, showing like even top secret personnel are not that powerful, or the Namekians are kind of stronger. At least the warrior class is kind of stronger than the average Frieza Force soldier, but not as powerful as someone like Zarbon. After being beaten, he was ultimately killed by Zarbon, who kicked him, breaking his neck and dropping him in the water to drown. And I mean, Zarbon did warn him that he would kill him, so to me, like, the Frieza Force knows exactly where they stand in the army. Time passed, and in the middle of Goku and Frieza's final battle, a certain wish was granted. Please resurrect all those killed by Frieza and his men. Of course, Cranberry was resurrected too, killed by Zarbon, one of Frieza's men, so he was brought back to life, only to swim himself up out of the water. And then he managed to escape from Namek in Vegeta's space pod. I'm not going back to Frieza's army. So he had a vendetta against Frieza's army, and he also, which I think is really cool, he took Vegeta's space pod, like he found it and he took it. So he must have seen it drop, so he must have been there when it did. And so he knew exactly the location that it was, and he was one of the few that was able to escape planet Namek before it was originally destroyed. He continued hiding from Frieza's army before being caught by the Galactic Patrol. And that's where our story comes into frame, where he is in the same jail as Moro, and he becomes his accomplice because he knows about the Dragon Balls, and he teaches that to Moro, where they go to New Namek. And you would think that he would choose a better boss after Frieza and his men, but nope, that's not the case at all. It's not how that story ends. But let me know what you guys think of this little story on Cranberry. This is One to Be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content.